If you're watching this video, you probably last 12 to 18 months, like most families in our church, you have taken a trip with your family. Maybe it was the big vacation that you've been planning for years, that one big trip to Europe or to Washington, D.C. or to the West Coast, and you've had it on the calendar for a long time, and this was the year you took that trip. For most of us, though, it was probably that annual trip to maybe the Conduit, the beach that we go to every year, or maybe the trip to Grandma's, or that place that we go usually once a year, and you took that trip with your family again this year. As you think about those trips and those special vacations, for most of us, when we plan those trips, the first thing we do is we put that trip on the calendar, we figure out the destination we're going to go, and then once we find out the destination and we're excited about the destination, we begin to put the pieces together: when we're going to leave, what type of transportation we're going to take, how long we're going to be there, and we begin to put more of the details together of how to get to that destination. And as you think about that as just really a way of an illustration, I want you to think about this one statement as you think about trips and the destination. The statement is this: mission is our destination, while culture is our route for getting there. Let me say that again. Mission is our destination, while culture is our route for getting there. That word culture you may hear in different places. Basically, that word culture just basically means this: it's a set of beliefs that are used in an organization that kind of set the pace for that organization. And what I wanted to do as you kind of are getting started being a bridge builder, volunteer here at Centerpoint, is I wanted to just outline two of those behaviors that are very key to our expectations of bridge builders. Two of those behaviors that you will see in every single area of our church and the people that serve. And so the first really belief or behavior that really sets our culture apart is this idea of authenticity. Authenticity is kind of a coffee shop cute word, and really in our culture it's much more than that. In 1 John you'll see very first chapter, 1 John, John writes about a statement called walking in the light. And here at Centerpoint, as a bridge builder or somebody that's part of this team, we want every single person to buy into this whole idea of walking in the light and having just authenticity in every area of their life. And what I mean by that is this: authenticity in their relationship with God. Man, here at Centerpoint, we don't fake ourselves out to think that we have it all together. We understand very clearly that we need God if anything's going to happen here. And so we want every one of our bridge builders to be authentic in their relationship with God. So whether you're showing up to serve in Kids Point, or whether you're in Velocity or parking cars, wherever you are, we hope that you would understand that you need God to do what you're going to do with any power. And we want you to be very authentic and believe that. But also we want you to be authentic in your relationships with others. It's obviously important to be authentic in your relationship with God, but in your relationship with others. And here's what I mean. It's being honest with others. When somebody on your team says, "Man, how are you doing?" This is the type of place you can actually be honest. You don't have to come and wear a mask when you come and volunteer and pretend that everything's okay. You can be authentic and say, "Man, this was a tough week." And your team's going to surround you, maybe pray for you, support you. We want you to be authentic and honest in your relationships with others. And also, kind of along the same lines, we want you to be honest when you have disagreements with others. That's part of authenticity too. It's not carrying around bitterness and disagreements that you have with people. It's being able to, when there's that disagreement, when there's something that hasn't gone right, to be able to go to that person and biblically, graciously talk that out and come to a solution. And so authenticity is a very important part of our culture. And as a bridge builder, it's one of those things we want to make sure that you really buy into, is the idea of authenticity. But the second thing, and the second word, is ownership. If you're an employee or somebody that comes to work for a place, you have one kind of attitude when you come. But if you are an owner, you come with a whole different attitude. And so if you're here as a bridge builder, part of our culture is that you would be both authentic, but you would also be someone who is an owner of what's going on here. And as you think about ownership, really what I'm talking about is owning two specific things. And the first one is this: we want you to own your relationship with God. And here's what I mean by that. We want you to come here and pursue Jesus in your own walk with God. We don't want you to come here and think someone else is going to do that for you. As someone who's a bridge builder, part of being authentic is really owning that relationship with God and pursuing Jesus in your own life. And so we want you to take ownership of your relationship with God, but then also we want you to take ownership of your area of service. And here's what I mean by that. If you're serving in the parking lot, how can you as an owner make it better? Instead of seeing something that's wrong and thinking somebody else will get that, no, you're an owner, so you make it better. If you're working in the kids area and you're serving and you see an area that, man, needs some attention, or you have a great idea that you think would make it better, man, in our culture, you're an owner. We want you to feel free to bring that idea to the right people, to make whatever better that you think needs to be better. Because if we're going to reach people, it's going to be very important that we don't have a bunch of people show up to serve that are just here to work for someone else, but we come to serve as someone who is committed to authenticity, but also comes with the mindset of, I'm an owner and I'm here to pursue Jesus in my own walk with God, but I'm also here to make my area better for the glory of God. And so as you think about culture and you think about mission, let me read that statement one more time. Mission is our destination. It's where we're going. Culture is how we get there. And here at Centerpoint, we get there through authenticity and through ownership.